In episode number 10, we're going to learn how to draw some new shapes. Until now, we have tried out the point function that draws pixels on the screen. We have tried out some examples using the line function, which obviously draws lines. Let's check on the help reference. What else can we draw out there? We have here the 2D primitives, and we can see point, which we used, line. Let's check out two new today, ellipse and rect or rectangle. So let's read first what it says about ellipse. Here we see the example. It's using ellipse, and inside parentheses it's using 4 different numbers. Let's read what it says about those. Draws an ellipse oval in the display window. An ellipse with an equal width and height is a circle. So if width and height are the same value, then we get a circle. The first 2 parameters set the location, the third sets the width, and the fourth sets the height. So the first 2 parameters, which are these two, x and y, set the location. Then the width, then the height. Okay, so let's copy this and try it out on our program. I paste it here. You can copy using pressing the keys Ctrl C. Cut is Ctrl X, and paste is Ctrl+V. Our default screen, remember, it's very small. It's just 100 pixels times 100. So I'm gonna make this bigger, as we saw in our last example. Let's make it much bigger, like 400 times 400. And we draw here an ellipse. Let's make it on the center of the screen. The center would be, I guess, 200 if the screen is 400 pixels wide. And how large do we do this? Let's make it like 100 and 200. So it's not a circle. And don't forget the semicolon at the end. We run the program. Oh, this looks almost like an egg. If I make it a bit wider, this is the width. Hey, that looks pretty much like an egg. So there we have our ellipse. In the example, it said if we make these two numbers equal, then we get a circle. So yeah, that's right. So now we know how to make circles and ellipses. Let's go back to the reference. What does it say about rect? It looks also like it has 4 values here inside the parentheses, 4 parameters. And it says draws a rectangle to the screen. A rectangle is a 4-sided shape with every angle at 90 degrees. The first 2 parameters set the location, the third sets the width, fourth sets the height. So this is identical to the ellipse. Okay, then let's copy. I'm just gonna hit Ctrl C to copy this line and Ctrl V to paste it. And here I type rect instead of ellipse. So now we will have 2 shapes drawn on the screen. And I run the program, and that's interesting. Why is the rectangle not centered with the circle? We can see the top left corner is on the center. But it would be nicer maybe if they are both centered on the same location. Does it say something here about this? The origin is changed with the Rect Mode function. This origin sounds like what we're looking for. Let's check go back and search for Rect Mode. Ctrl F, Rect Mode. Modifies the location from which rectangles draw. The default mode is Rect Mode corner, which specifies the location to be the upper left corner of the shape. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The top left corner is where we want, but we want to have the center there. So I see here there is Rect Mode center. let's just try out that one. So I copy, you can copy it from here. Rect Mode, oh no, not corner, center. Center, and I put this line inside our program before we do any drawing. Rect Mode center, and then hopefully we get the rectangle in the center now. Right. I want to clarify that this center doesn't mean that it will draw on the center of the screen. It means that these two values here are indicating the center of our rectangle and not the top left corner. So now we have it in the center, but we lost the circle. Look at the order we are drawing our things here. We're drawing first the ellipse and then the rectangle, and the rectangle is covering our ellipse. So if we change the order, first we draw the rectangle and then the ellipse, then we can see it. You can see they have exactly the same size. They are both, yes, you can see here, located in the middle of the screen, 200 to 100, and they both have the same size, 150 pixels wide and 150 pixels tall. So let's try changing some colors. And we know how to change the background color already. That's done with the background function, background. And we could type here 1 number or 3 numbers. Let's find a better way to specify the color. If you go here to the tools menu, there's a color selector. And here you can click on this bar until you see a color you like. Let's make it look like a sky or something. And then you click on the box, and up here you see the color you have selected. If you go down, it's black. Towards the corner is white. So maybe this is kind of like sky. Now that I have selected the color there, you can see here these are the red, green, and blue values we normally entered here inside the background function. So we could memorize these numbers, or we can just copy this code down here, and we use Ctrl-C. I press the keys Ctrl-C to copy this color. And then I close the window and I can paste it here. Why this strange notation? Well, there are some different ways to tell the program about colors. One option was to enter in 3 numbers separated by comma. This is actually a hexadecimal code, hexadecimal, and it means the same. The first 2 characters are the red value, the next 2 are the green value, and the last 2 are the blue value. So if we run the program now, we will have a blue background. Now we know also how to change the border colors. How we do that with stroke, parentheses, semicolon, and here we need another color. Let's choose another color from here. Color selector. Let's make this kind of orange. I copy this value, press Ctrl-C, and here Ctrl-V. Now we will have some orange borders. Something we don't know how to do is how to change this white color. And for that, we will use also a new function. We can search here on the reference. It's here next to the color section. You can see here the background we used stroke. Then we have here fill. With fill, we can set the color of these closed shapes like the rectangle or the ellipse. So it works like the same way, fill and 3 values or 1 value. So let's go back to our program, and here now I type fill, and inside parentheses let's pick up again a color selector, something like this green here. I like, and I Ctrl-C, close it. I paste here my color. So now I have entered all these colors: background, the border, and the fill color. So let's make a quick overview and clean up a little bit this program. Let's just write some comments here to explain what we've done. Here we know these drawing functions, which are point and line. I will put this comment up here, that you can use these keys, Ctrl+C to copy, Ctrl+X to cut, and Ctrl+V to paste. Here we resize the display to make it larger. With the Rect Mode, what do we do with that? We tell the program that the X and Y values in Rect mean center, not top left. So Rect Mode affects in which way the rect is drawn. And background, we know we changed the color of our background. Here we are using hexadecimal code for the color. Here we are using hexadecimal code instead of RGB, like we did before. With the stroke, we change the border color or the line color. With fill, we change the fill color for circles and rectangles. And finally, we draw a rectangle. And we draw, well, this is a circle because the width and the height are the same.